Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. All right.
Is it working?
It should be working, yes. There's a button that you're supposed to click on YouTube where it says go live, and I think
Oh
it
my
should
God.
be working.
I thought it's working. I thought it was
It
my
is.
Zoom. I was like, maybe I have it set to where like I can't go live, but I do. It's working. I just checked.
All right. All right. All right. Now we are officially live. All right. Sorry, everybody, for the technical difficulty there. I was just having fun. We are trying to set this up through Zoom, and it has been a little bit of a disaster. But first off, thank you, everybody listening. Welcome to the final prediction show of the 2022 Oscar season and what has seemed like the longest Oscar season. It feels even longer than last year, but I am your host, Ricky Valero. On today's episode, we will be breaking down each of the categories, who we think will be taking home the trophies, and so much more. As always, I am joined by my co-host here, Kenzie. How are you today?
I So everyone else is like freaking out about actress and picture, and I have spent all day going over animated short and editing. I've probably changed both like 75 times, and I'm still not sure when we get to each of them what I'm going to say. Um,
I really
I
felt like
just
I was bored, right? But now that we're kind of in the crunch time of everything, I'm like,
it's so Kyle Buchanan tweeted it. He was like, you guys complain that it was stale and like very predictive. And now that it's like there's like 8 or 9 categories, we have no idea what they're gonna be. Everyone's complaining. And I'm like, it's fun. I love it. This is what I want of an Oscar season. But it's just all the yelling that I'm not a fan of. But when you're like, because I have a baby, so when I am not on Twitter, I'm like, this is the most fun season ever. It's
yeah.
just when you log online that you're like, this isn't fun anymore. But like, honestly, I really love it. I think it's really cool. I wish I liked all the movies more, so this was more fun. But it is very fun to not know like what's gonna happen. I just wish we were seeing them all live.
Yeah, that is a huge issue.
Like, is
And
Vanessa Hudgens on the red carpet gonna tell me who won editing?
or maybe Rachel Zegler will hand out, who wins best cinematography. You know what I mean? Who
We
knows?
have
You know
no
what I'm saying?
idea.
We don't, or some TikTok viral sensation will be handing,
Okay, I just want to say, I thought today when the Hollywood Reporter posted that influencers were going to be doing something backstage, which I just want to preface, I'm totally fine with because it's
yep.
backstage. As long as it doesn't interfere with what's going on, I don't really care. It's their way of getting more people interested. Who cares? But then I realized it said Instagram, not TikTok. And I was like, Instagram influencers? Like,
Is that even still a thing?
yeah, like I was like, I thought I was behind that I didn't use TikTok. But like we're back to it. I like so I'm like, are they just old and don't realize like they need to get TikTok? Or like did we go back to Instagram and I missed it? Like I don't know what's going on.
I don't either. I feel like they're always like one step behind everything as is, and this
Yes.
just is not this entire fiasco of presenting is insane. So there's so much to break down. There's so much to talk about. Kenzie and I went back and forth on a lot of different things. I literally felt really good about my predictions. And I love Kenzie and I love talking movies with her, but nobody makes me doubt everything I'm thinking more than she does. And I'm just saying, like, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I feel good. And then Kenzie's like, well, when's the last time this or this happened? So then I start going down this rabbit hole of figuring out, like, you sent me, like, what was the last time a film won only acting and editing? And it was like, all right. Oh, you said it was The Raging Bull. I was like, oh my God, let me check. Yeah, and I literally went through like all
Okay,
the, I was
I don't
matching
know
it up.
if anybody else does this, but instead of Googling shit, I just because I like the way Wikipedia, I know you're not supposed to use Wikipedia, but I like their format. So like I just go through each year and I'm like looking and I'm like, But then it gets confusing when you go too far back because certain categories are no longer there or like things have been added. So they're like out of order and you're like looking for so long. And then you're like, I'm looking at visual effects, not editing. And you're like, because it moved over one. And then
Exactly.
I got to the years where there were like 2 score categories, like comedic and dramatic. And I was like, it doesn't matter if I'm going this far back. Like the stat doesn't matter. Like,
It's just going down this continuous rabbit hole of just like, and there's so many people like, it's funny to me because you'll have the people that are like super like, well, these stats are important, but then the stats only matter when don't matter whenever it's what they're predicting, right? You know what I mean? Like you brought a valid point to the scenario of like the whole Will Smith and editing. So if King Richard wins editing and he wins best actor, it'd be the first time since the Raging Bull for it to happen like that. You know what I mean? Like to me, it's crazy. Another fun fact that I found going down this rabbit hole, 8 sports movies have taken home best editing.
See?
Which is...
And like the whole actor and editing thing, it's like a sports movie. And then it's like, I also just like think of like, I don't think Will Smith and Robert De Niro are like the same level, but like, it's also like kind of the same age, like the same kind of path, kind of. Like I was just like, I had to stop looking outside of like, because I feel bad going back even to like the Departed era. Like I feel like that's too far back. So I was like, when I got to Raging Bull, I was like, I don't think this matters. Like, I don't know. It's interesting.
That's crazy. So with that being said, we do have 22 categories, 23 obviously with going with Best Picture. But of course, we are going to do the right thing and tackle Best Picture last. So I'm going to attempt to share my screen again. I don't know. It went well, I think, for me last time, but we're going to try to do it again. And I'm going to have this on the screen just for whenever we are going to go through them. But Kenzie, I'm going to have you pick a number 1 through 5, and this is how we're going to randomize what categories we're going to talk about in the order of which we're going to talk about them. So pick a number.
I'm just going to do 1.
Just
I'm so scared about editing. I just don't want it to be first.
All right, here we go. Here's the lucky swing. Okay, all right. So the supporting actor is last. That's interesting. Film editing is 21st. This is a pretty good little layout. I feel like it landed it pretty solidly.
Right.
So how we're going to land on these categories, folks, is visual effects, international feature, cinematography, director, animated feature, costume design, animated short, documentary feature, actress, actor, supporting actress, sound, live action short, score, original song, screenplay, makeup, doc short, adapted, production, film editing, best supporting actor, and then of course we'll close that out with best picture. So this is going to be fun because several of these categories, Kenzie and I we stopped sharing because there was one thing I saw this morning that was like, oh my God, what is Kenzie doing? Which then of course sent me down another rabbit hole of just wanting to jump off a bridge. So instead of allowing her to let me continue to do that, she decided she was no longer going to share some of her surprises with me. But first up, best visual effects.
There's no surprise here.
Yeah, there's really not. We both have Dune. So
yes. I feel like as does everyone.
Is it right? It's like it's the one.
It's really funny too that so the only movies I haven't seen are Shang-Chi and Free Guy. But everyone told me the visual effects are really bad in Free Guy, and like Shang-Chi, it's like they're fine. So I'm like, okay, I didn't miss anything. Those are the only 2 out of the entire nominees I didn't see.
I didn't love Free Guy as much as everybody else did. So it's Ryan Reynolds playing Ryan Reynolds or / Deadpool. So it is what it is. Which is crazy. I think we go from one lock to another lock in international feature.
Yes.
That's
my Drive My Car's the consensus, but like I don't think it's possible, but like worst person in the world could, like I can see it, but I can't. Do you know what I mean? Like if it happens, I'd be like, no shit. But like I don't think it's gonna happen. Because they always, if like international features and Best Picture, they always go with it in international feature. So
yeah, and there's
good.
it's a solid line to blend there. I'm not I like Drive My Car. I will be one of the only films, if it might be the only film that I have not seen is The Worst Person in the World. It's the only movie I have not seen yet.
They made it hard to see, but it's finally available to rent for $5.99.
Okay.
So
all right. Well, that makes sense. I'll have to check it out then, because I didn't love Drive My Car as much as you did, but I did really, really enjoy it though. Like I did enjoy it. I thought it was a very good movie. I wish I would have seen it in theaters.
yeah, like, so I saw it at home, and then when they put it in theaters here, I went and saw it in a theater because I was like, I watched it at home uninterrupted. Like I did watch it in one sitting, but like I was just like very distracted. It's like easy to happen at home. But seeing it in a
Yes.
theater, I was like, this could, like, I could change the order of my top 5 of 2021, which I did. Like it was in my top 5, but it was like 5 or 4. I could push it up. I don't know, but very deserving one.
I agree. Okay, so switching to cinematography, another clean sweep. Speaking of which, I forgot to mention that Jacob has predicted both of those categories the same as we have as well. So sorry, Jacob. Cinematography now, though, with cinematography, this is one where this is one where I'm still like, it could go a lot of different ways, right? We're all locked in on The Power of the Dog, which obviously would make history.
First woman to win.
But there's like...
So I'm a firm believer in the Batman positioning Greg Fraser to win. And I also think there's a strong possibility with the text that people are just name checking Dune.
Yeah.
But Power of the Dog, I just feel like there's been a lot of interviews with her recently. She's been doing a lot of press. I've seen a lot of people posting at Q&As. There's like a line to meet her, to talk to her. And I'm just one of those people, I really believe like people shaking hands really makes a difference here.
Yeah.
And I am also, we'll get into this later, Power of the Dog needs to pick up a few things for something else to happen.
Yeah.
And I believe this is one of them. Like if Dune wins, I'll be like happy because one, it's beautiful and totally worthy. And I'll understand. But I just, as of today and yesterday, I am on Power of the Dog.
So I forgot to mention this while we were talking about visual effects, but it just kind of solidified the visual effects. 18 of the last 21 visual effects winners were also nominated for production design. And of course, there was 3 obstacles there, but Dune obviously being that anomaly who should probably landslide there. But yeah, I'm with you. It's like part of me was going one way this morning. The other way is going back another way with the Oscars. And I feel like we're starting to overthink certain things that I really feel like should be shoe-ins. And this one to me is like, I teeter-tottered here, but I really am going with Power of the Dog, because I know there's a lot of people think in this world where they can only walk away with director or whatever, that looks like. I just don't feel like that's a realm of possibility that is actually in existence. You know what I mean? They're going to have to get other things.
I do just want to say that Tragedy of Macbeth should be sweeping the floor with every single cinematography award. And it's mind-blowing to me that it's not. But this is one of my favorite cinematography lineups. There's a few that I would add in, but I'm not a fan of West Side Story, but it is a beautiful movie. And this is one I would have put West Side Story in no matter what, like, even though I don't like the movie. But just pour one out for Spencer. Just pour one out for Spencer. Like Green Knight, there were so many like the Lighthouse-esque nominations that we could have gotten. And I like everything in this category. I'm an alley cat, so Nightmare Alley, but this is a great lineup, but there's a few I'm sad about. But yes, Power of the Dog. Let's make history. Let's do it.
Yeah, for me, like Spencer, movie should have been nominated for like 8 different things, but
It should be like an 11-time nominee.
And Tragedy Macbeth should be like right up there with it. I mean, I told you earlier, I had an extensive conversation about that, how Catherine Hunter should have been nominated. It's Catherine Hunter, I think it is, that should have been nominated for supporting actress. Like
a million percent.
Devastating in that movie, like terrifying.
And the way she played each of the witches like differently is just so impressive. And I feel like we really took that for granted.
Yeah, and I'll also, I'll talk more about Denzel later, but he should be running away with his third Oscar. But all right, so we are moving on to another, best director. I've seen, I do think it's funny that I've seen a couple different articles where you see the mystery Oscar people, and like 3 of them mentioned the things she said rubbed them the wrong way or whatever, and that's why they went this person instead of her. And I'm just like, Jane Campion's winning this. She should win this.
Should, will, could, like
yes,
the whole,
like there's no, yeah.
So I've been saying this since Denis missed that Steven Spielberg's like the closest, but the problem with that is like everyone knows he has another movie coming out next year, and it's like based on his life. So I'm like, they're not gonna give him one now. Like even if Denis was here, I don't think he could pull off a win over Jane because everyone knows part 2 is coming. Like I feel like if you don't know someone's coming, like if you don't know when someone's coming back and they're like sweeping the way Jane is, it's hard to be like, we'll get her next time because you're unsure. Right. So it's like, of course she's going to continue to sweep. But yeah, we all have Jane, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All 3 of us.
This is like as locked as visual effects to me. I don't see it going another way. And I'm just so excited that I was pregnant last year with my daughter and we watched a woman win, and now we're going to watch another one. It's thrilling. It's sad that it's going to be only the 3rd, but like,
it's kind of incredible that.
And she'll be the first woman who's been nominated twice.
Yes. Like,
so like that's
exactly
beautiful stuff.
It's incredible. I'm really excited.
It took what, 93 years? But like, cool. I saw someone yelling. They were like, the new members is working, and someone was like, not like sure, but like not fast enough. And like someone yelled at them, and I was like, they're right. Like it is not working fast enough. Like this is another year that there's an international feature in Best Picture, but none of those performances translated. Like we put it in Best Picture, but we were like, didn't need to put any of the actors anywhere.
Yeah, we put it in Best Picture, Best Director. We put it in
Screenplay, but no acting. Like I just like, and that's the thing that's so funny about Penelope is like, we'll put Penelope in, but we're not going to put it anywhere but like one other place. Like, because I really thought that Parallel Mothers would sneak in Screenplay, not score. That messed up my predictions. But it's just like wild to me that like we do stuff like this. Like, I don't know. But I would love if Hamaguchi like pulled off a win. Obviously it's not happening, but that would be so cool. I would scream.
I would hear you in Nashville. That's how I think you would be. All right, so we are moving on over to Best Animated Feature, and this is where I think I stick my foot in and I get a little crazy. It's not really that crazy. I am going to go with the Mitchells and the Machines here. So I presented you a stat which 100% put me in saying Encanto is going to win. I gave you the stat. I was like, you know what? 100% going to happen, because since the ACEDIs began awarding animated feature, there have been matches in 11 of the 12 years, which Lego Movie lost out to Big Hero 6 is the only year that it didn't happen. But then I gave you another stat where Encanto is the 10th animated film since '89 to have been nominated both score and song. And of the previous 9, 7 of them have walked away with at least one Oscar, which I'm going to follow that path, but I'm just going to go in a different path. and that's why I'm landing on Mitchell's and Machines.
Okay, so
all of that for you to unpack.
So when I think about this, because I am not an animated person, but I did watch everything. I just waited until the nominations came out because I was not about to torture myself if like something missed. Like Flea is the only one I saw before the nominations.
Yeah.
Like, so Mitchell's has the whole, it's a movie about movies, which we know the Academy likes. It also has like producers behind it that do both of them have an Oscar?
Yes.
Yeah. So I get so confused because like one of the three didn't get one, right?
I think so, yes.
Kemp Powers didn't get one.
Yeah.
So like there's that behind Mitchell's. It's like, yeah, they didn't direct it or write it, but like they are behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Two, that ad that got pulled that like advertised Encanto, I was like, that could help people be like, screw Encanto, you know, like people could be like, that's messed up. Like, I'm gonna vote for the person who called this out. Like, especially given like all of Disney's negative press.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's kind of a check. And then I'm also thinking there could be a backfire to there being 3 Disney movies in this category. I don't think people are splitting, like, I don't think they're splitting votes, but especially Raya and the Last Dragon, I do think people are like, could be overwhelmed, like enough Disney. The problem is people could also be like, enough Netflix.
Yeah, it's going to be a Netflix filled night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, and it's like Netflix
or streaming filled night even. I mean, if you go that route.
So it's so funny Jacob's not here. So so like it's just I see the argument for Mitchell's. The only thing that holds me back is that one, it's Lin-Manuel Miranda. Two, not that he's winning for if Encanto wins here, but like just the whole he's behind it. And then it's so widely seen, like people that are so far removed from like film Twitter and award season and all that have seen this movie. And a lot of them, I'm like, what did you think about Mitchell's? And they're like, I've never heard of that. And I'm like, which is so weird because how did you open Netflix and not hear about it?
Oh my God, exactly.
But I don't think Flea has a chance because I think it's splitting votes. And I think sadly it being nominated historically in all 3 is ruining its chances of winning in any of the 3. But so I don't think Flea matters. I don't think Raya and the Last Dragon matters. I think Luca kind of matters, but not really, because I do think people that like it are still frustrated about there being like a gay storyline and it getting taken out. And then that's all back in the press the last 2 weeks. So I'm like, that is not helping. But I want to go with Mitchell's because like, I don't like animated movies and I really liked it. But I'm like, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. Like if they do it, I'll be like, of course they did it. But I'm not brave enough like you. Me and Jacob are sticking with Encanto. But it just sucks because I look at all the filmmakers and industry people who wrote like letters on behalf of Mitchell's and Flea. And it's just like depressing that we're just going to get another Disney movie.
Yeah, it is, because Mitchell's and the Machines, like, it's a really, really good, like, I'm with you. Like, you know, I'm the same way with animated movies. Like, it's nothing against them. They're great for people. I'm just not those people. You know what I mean? But when
an animated movie works.
Yes, yeah. It's so good, right? You know what I mean? It's like, it's another level. That's where we're on the same boat there. It's like, when it works, it works. And for me, like, Mitchell's and the Machine is like, it works on so many different levels. So yeah,
that's a good thing to go for though. Like if you're gonna, because me and you have talked, we're gonna make some crazy predictions because the season's just been, the season deserves crazy predictions.
It does.
I'm not encouraging people to make the predictions I'm making. Like I will preface that, like if I'm making something crazy, like don't do it. Yeah. But this is a good category to do it in because it could pay off.
Moving on to costume design. All 3 of us are in the Cruella campaign.
I just want to say though, Cyrano deserves to win, or Dune. Dune is like really unique costumes. I think they had a lot of steps to like overcome because it's a book, so they're described. People are very defensive over books being turned into movies. And I really think Dune is so cool, but I just think Cruella, that stupid trash dress, is like all people talk about. And
I don't know. I like Cruella, so
I can never watch it again, but I like the beginning. I know everyone hates the beginning, but I think it's
I really
hilarious.
enjoyed the beginning. Yeah, I enjoyed the beginning as well.
But I also just want to say I don't like West Side Story, but I really like their costumes because it could have been really like cheesy and they made them really unique to this interpretation. And
it's a solid category, top to bottom.
It is. I like every single nomination. And I just want to say I bullied Jacob into predicting Cyrano getting a nomination because I was like, the gowns. There's no gowns in this category. And he got a nomination for Pinocchio last year, and we were all like, what the hell is this? So I'm like, we knew it was coming. But Cyrano, like, just give it one thing. Like,
it needs it. They ripped it out of theaters after it only got the one thing.
so sad.
Animated short.
Don't get me started.
I'll tell you what, I have a harder time with the other short categories than I do this one, I think.
Robin is too long.
Yes. Agreed.
They statistically do not win when they're longer. But it is Netflix. It's like so easily available.
But is it Netflix again? Or could we
that's the other thing. Is there too much Netflix? So Cody Derrick's predicting Box Ballet, which is like I would scream if it. I can't believe this is gonna be. We're gonna find out off it, like not live, because this is one I'm so excited to see what wins, because that picture of Steven Spielberg with the Bestia doll, I was like, which was at the Oscars luncheon, I was like, holy shit, Bestia is gonna win. Which, by the way, I saw the animated shorts at 9 a.m. like all together, and they are so weird and like sexual and not what I anticipated. I was like, what is happening? So I'm going with Bestia. You're going with Bestia, right?
Yes.
Jacob's going Robin.
And the thing about it is like, if they say affairs of the art, we're gonna be like, yep, figurative problem. Like, it just whatever. It is what it is.
The shorts like, always mess me up. I either get 3 out of 3 or 0 out of 3. I never get them right. I don't know.
I remember when I did my predictions, and like I think I missed. There's like obviously 15 noms. I think I was like 6 out of 15, or 6 and 9 in there. 6 and 10 or something like that. I actually
got 13, and I was like, what? But I know I'm either gonna get 0 out of 3 or 3 out of 3 here.
It's insane.
All right, I'm hoping Steven Spielberg pushes it over the edge.
Yes, we need it. Documentary feature. Really loaded category, top to bottom, but I think it's kind of top heavy, obviously. Jacob, myself, and Kenzie are all on the Summer of Soul bandwagon, which I am so rooting for Summer of Soul. It's not even great. Like, it's not even funny. Like,
listen, Academy Award winner Questlove is going to be one of the coolest things that's ever happened.
Yes. I agree with you 100%.
Like, if there's a person we can all collectively be like, this person is awesome and I love everything they do, it is Questlove. He is innocent from last year's broadcast. He had nothing to do with it. He just did the music, guys. Do not go after him. I know he's associated with Jimmy Fallon. I forgive him because you get to see the Roots play music. Like, I love him. I love this documentary. I'm not a music documentary person, and it's so funny that 2 of my favorite documentaries from last year were music related. Like, but I love this. I feel like this is the perfect example of using like different kinds of footage and like presenting it in a like unique way. And like, this documentary also is really like, it's a great documentary, but it's also so very Questlove's voice and like everything you think of when you think of Questlove. And I really love things like that, especially like this is his first documentary, right?
Yes.
Amazing. Like just so cool. I got a little worried when he lost the DGA.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what? But I'm like, I think the hardest thing for the frontrunner and documentary feature is getting the nomination. But once they got the nomination, it was like, this is winning.
Yeah, because there was so much like towards nominations that they thought maybe Summer of Soul was going to be left out. There was a lot of people not predicting it anymore.
We should have all known that The Rescue was the frontrunner that was going to miss.
For sure.
Like we all just ignored that. Like we should have all known.
They ignored the
because
first
this
wave
is too good.
We ignored the first wave too, but we won't talk about that right now.
I don't think I like him.
Okay, so I saw Summer of Soul at Sundance last year, and
I remember
watching it
from Sundance winning this year.
Yes, this is a matter of fact. Okay, I remember seeing it at Sundance last year and saying this is going to be the documentary that I championed throughout the rest of the year. Now, I did start picking up on the first wave a little bit, not just because they started using all my quotes in their stuff, but that might have had a little bit something to do with it. No, but Summer of Soul is a phenomenal documentary that like you said, Oscar winner Questlove just has a beautiful ring to it, and I can't wait for it to happen. Now we get a little crazy. Could we get a little crazy here? It's going to get a little crazy on the show. Best Actress. Best Actress has arrived. I'm going to let you have the floor because I woke up this morning and you chose violence. So because you chose violence, I'm going to let you have the floor with your violence.
Okay. I just want to say that I've chosen violence in lead actress since like December. I've been on the Olivia Colman train since December. I was like, she's going to get it. Then when Jessie Buckley got nominated, I was like, Olivia Colman has this in the bag. I only got worried when she missed the BAFTA nomination, but I was like fully on Olivia Colman until everyone was sending me that Olivia Colman was not named in any of these anonymous Oscar ballots. I don't read them. I just want to preface that. That's why I'm saying people sent them to me because I don't read them. And I was like, if it's not Olivia Colman, it's not Kristen Stewart. It is Penelope Cruz because that's the other, like, I appreciate this performance. Because I think Nicole Kidman is fifth. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, sure, all of them have a chance, but I think Nicole Kidman's fifth. Jessica Chastain, I have never been on it. I've never predicted her. I'm not saying that, and you can search my tweets and I changed my mind. Like, I truly have never been on that train. Because I think SAG was just like the only televised award show we got. Like, and then like she wasn't at Critics' Choice. Like, so like, which I know like she's working, so it's fine. I'm not saying anything against that. I'm just saying like she wasn't there, and that doesn't carry the same kind of weight. Like if she had been there and like been schmoozing with all these industry people, I'd be like, yeah, she has a leg up. But she wasn't there. So I'm like, I don't really think that does anything. And then she still missed BAFTA. And I'm like, I know they all did, but like, I'm just like, there's no industry support other than SAG. And the movie, I know it doesn't matter with Best Actress specifically, but like, I just don't see it. And because another thing is, Tammy Faye is an American role. Like it is an American person. It is not someone she's not even like that well known. So like, are international voters really going to vote for this? Because like the thing with Nicole Kidman is Lucille Ball is well known. So like, yes, she's an American icon, but like everyone knows who Lucille Ball is. So I don't see the Jessica Chastain thing. So before everybody apparently today switched to Penelope Cruz, like
you should have announced it before everybody else did this morning because
I waited for this.
I know.
Everybody switched, and I only switched because I believed in Olivia Colman until someone told me that Penelope Cruz was on every single anonymous ballot. And the only reason I had ever picked Olivia Colman was because I was like that she's Olivia Colman, she's well liked. To that other supporting actress nomination for Jessie Buckley, I was like they saw the movie, like they saw it. And then I felt like if they were going to go with like a performance they just like and an actress they just like, it would be Olivia Colman. But that same scenario, actress they like, performance they like, is Penelope Cruz. So I switched because one, every single person bullied me that Olivia Colman was never going to happen. And I think Penelope Cruz fits the scenario that I thought Olivia Colman was.
So I have gone back and forth all day long about this category. There is a part of me that really still feels like Nicole Kidman is winning this Oscar. I don't know what it is. I've thought it since I've seen the movie.
Is it the Northman poster?
Maybe.
You saw the Northman poster and you were like, holy shit, she's winning the Oscar.
I just don't know what it is. Like I know how like revered that character is. And there was a couple of people that like mentioned Nicole Kidman in those mysterious Oscar things, that how great she was.
Everybody calls them something different. And I'm like, can we just all agree on one term? Like
right,
every outlet is like anonymous Oscar ballot, mysterious Oscar ballot,
exactly,
secret Oscar ballot. I mean, just pick one phrase. Like,
I do love the idea of Olivia Colman, obviously, because of the screenplay nomination and the supporting nomination. That's not too bad. Now, for Kristen Stewart to win, it's literally the only person that I found in the last like 20 years that had done it, obviously, was I'm blanking on his name right now. Forrest Whitaker for Last King of Scotland, right? That's what it was.
The Last King of Scotland.
So he was the only person I found in the last 20 years that won without another nomination across the board. So that to me,
if Penelope Cruz wins, she'll be the first person since 1947 to win with 0 major precursor noms.
So with that being said,
if Kristen Stewart wins, she'd be the first person in lead without a SAG or BAFTA nom.
Golly.
If Olivia Colman wins, she would be the first person to win for someone else being nominated playing the same character.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, Kate Winslet's been nominated twice with her supporting counterpart who played her. Yeah. But she obviously didn't win.
So with all of this stuff going on, the only reason I was leaning Chastain in one aspect was because she has been campaigning the shit.
That's the thing, is she has made it personal also. Yes. Like, I worked so hard to get this movie made.
Yes.
And that really like resonates. And something that I really love about what Jessica Chastain has been doing is every opportunity she's gotten, she has highlighted her director, her makeup team, like everyone behind the scenes of that movie. Like, she always mentions Andrew Garfield. Like, she made it really personal about like how hard she worked to get this movie made. But she, at every opportunity, is highlighting someone else that was involved with the making of this movie. And ever since the makeup nomination came out, like, she has been like, can you believe how good they did? Like, and then her saying like she's skipping the red carpet, if so, to watch them, like, their category be presented, which I still don't understand. Like, does the red carpet start at 3, at 2? Like, because if it's at 4, like it normally is, like, I don't understand. But whatever. I really liked that she said that. She went out of her way. I think she's like one of the only actors I've read that said anything. So I really
very much so. I haven't really seen anybody that's especially nominated wise either.
Yeah, like
I've really gone out of the way.
I've seen like crafts people and like Spielberg say something, but I haven't.
Why isn't Javier Bardem with his? Never mind. I'll leave that alone. All right. So with that being said,
you're going Kidman.
I am going to go Kristen Stewart. I'm just gonna do it. I'm kidding. No, I'm gonna go Nicole Kidman. It's just, I have that feeling. It's been inside my core. It's what I'm predicting. It's been what I've been predicting. I don't know who else is going to win. Honestly, if anybody
That's the thing is I feel like a lot of people could think that way. Like, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to go with Nicole because she is Nicole Kidman. And like, she doesn't have a lead win. And either does.
And look, everything you've presented to me for the last 30 minutes or the last 5 minutes has convinced me to go Nicole Kidman. Like, you literally changed my mind as you were talking about how Cruz would be the first person since then. Chastain, I like you literally changed my mind as we were sitting here.
But see, so like there's 3 people in this category playing real people.
Yeah.
Chastain has the makeup nom, which like it's 2 times it's been tied. Yeah. Coleman has the surprise Buckley nom, which if anyone tells you they predicted, they did not. Like, I just feel like every single one of them has like one thing working for them.
Exactly.
That's why so many people are on Chastain, which if she does win, it's not shocking. It's not anything. Like, it makes sense. But the thing is, it makes sense with all of them. Like, the only thing that's different with Chastain is that she has SAG. But like, I don't know.
Chastain was nothing of an afterthought in this category.
Chastain had the whole like, is she even going to get nominated? Like, everyone was saying that
forever,
which made no sense to me because she was the only one that showed up at every single thing.
She came to Nashville. She came to Nashville to do a Q&A. Like
that never made sense to me that she was going to miss. But like, she was never like in contention to win until SAG.
Right.
But that's not enough for me to go off of because of the way the voting body's changed. Like, it's just really hard for me to like say that's enough. But you could argue a point for any of the 5 and I'd be like, okay, yeah.
They could announce any one of their 5 names on Sunday and I would not be surprised. Now, Kristen Stewart would probably be the most surprising just because she has
her nomination was like the most shocking thing that's ever happened.
Exactly.
Like,
and considering it's the only nomination the film got too, it was so obviously if Kristen Stewart's name, like, we'll be live, so I will scream very loud because I will be so happy because honestly it's well deserved. I mean, I think she should be hands down winning this category, but I will say this: Penelope Cruz is very good in Parallelers.
It's the same thing with Nicole, where I'm like, people could be like, I don't like that Penelope only has a supporting Oscar. I want her to get a lead. And like that kind of thing could like push people over the edge. Olivia is well liked. Like, I didn't think she was going to win an Emmy for The Crown. I loved her in The Crown, but that was Emma's like signed, sealed, delivered, and Olivia took it. Like, it's just because she's so well liked. Like, how do you not like her? I don't know. Yeah. Anybody could win. I'm going Penelope Cruz. Ricky can attest that I did it before. Like 90% of you guys switched.
It's a fact. It's 100% fact. I mean, I'm literally, I'm looking for it right now. Like, I literally text you. This was early this morning. I probably, because I always forget you're like 2 hours behind me. So like, I'm always texting Kenzie at like 5 a.m. her time. Thank God there's a thing called, silent text here. Hang on, I'm trying to find whenever I text you and you decided to choose violence. Okay, yeah, here we go. Nope, that was way earlier than that one too. Hang on. Whoa, I'm telling you. There it is. I text you at 9:15 this morning and said, 9:12 this morning, I said, Kenzie, you're picking Cruz. And that was before everybody on Twitter decided to jump on the Cruz bandwagon. So I could screenshot this and prove it to the world as well, folks. So, and God knows how, so it's a thing. So if Cruz wins, I will give Kenzie all the credit. That's just what we're going to do. And that's how we're going to do it. And then
but if Olivia Colman wins, I'm going to be so angry because I'm the only person I don't know anyone else who thought she was going to win. So if I switched today for Penelope Cruz and Olivia Colman wins, everybody better still give me credit.
Oh, that's incredible. It's a perfect segue.
Oh, and then But Jacob is
Oh,
going with Chastain. Now that we
yeah.
completely were like,
Jacob's going
don't pick
Chastain because he
her.
got a picture with her. So that's the reason why.
I would do the same.
Yeah. So with that being said, we transition to the easiest, one of the other easiest categories of the night, and that's lead actor. Um, Will Smith will win his Oscar. I'm very happy for Will Smith because I don't. It's overdue in some aspects. I think the year that he was nominated, he should have lost to Denzel anyway because I just love Denzel. He should be losing to Denzel this year, but we're not going to talk about that right this second. But yes, yay for Will Smith. Like I'm happy for him.
Yeah, like anyone who doesn't like understand, like, because I don't think when people say like he's overdue, that anyone really means like a specific performance
Yeah.
per se. It's just like his body of work and the length of his career and like what he's done. And then on top of all of that, this is a very worthy performance. Like anyone
Yes.
who says otherwise, I don't know what they're talking about. Like, I don't like biopics either, but like I went into this movie a little like not excited because one, I don't like sports movies really, and two, I didn't like the idea of them framing that Venus and Serena's careers were like like he was responsible for that. And then when I saw it, I felt completely different. And I really love that they've kind of been going everywhere with him and that they're going to the Oscars as presenters. Like, I I really love the performance. It's not what I would pick in this lineup, but like I would still probably put him in. Like, probably. I don't know. But I told she just needs in. But yeah, I just think it's really well deserved. It's like both an overdue career Oscar as well as this performance deserves the Oscar. I and I think he'll give a great speech. I loved his SAG speech. I think he'll give a great speech. And I'm excited to see what sunglasses he wears.
I just want to make a quick
If we
note.
see.
Somebody made a comment that said Forrest Whitaker swept. What are you talking about? Forrest Whitaker won the Oscar, and the Oscar he won was literally the only nomination that film got. That's what I was talking about. I don't know how to do any of this. I message pinned. I don't know how to unpin it. I don't really know what I'm doing here. Yeah, there we go. But with that being said, that's what I was talking about. So, but moving on. All right. So with that being said, yeah, I'm excited. When I watched the film, I was also very skeptical about the movie because there was a lot of rant and raving about it. But like this man's been campaigning for this Oscar for quite some time right now. But I will say I did have a resurgence for Andrew Garfield over the last couple of weeks after I rewatched Tick Tick, or actually after I watched Tick Tick Boom for the first time. Um,
The thing with that is the same thing with Kristen Stewart. They've both been at like every single event, regardless if they were nominated or like part of what was going on. Like they were both at PGA.
yeah.
Like they've been everywhere. And I think that kind of thing, like I was saying earlier, like the shaking of hands really does make a difference. My only thing with Tick Tick Boom is it only got editing. If it got anything else, and I'm assuming if sound was still split, it would have showed up with one more nomination at least. But like Nightmare Alley getting in picture over Tick Tick Boom just really like kind of makes me think Andrew has no shot.
Yeah, I don't think he does. I like you. I asked you that question the other day, and it was like, who's two? And it's like Cumberbatch. I think has to be number two here. Like I really do. Like
I've thought that, but
because I've even seen his name a couple times over the last 24 hours in the mystery, unknown, secret, ultra secret ballots that have
anonymous.
been anonymous. That's the word.
Password required. But like I was thinking he was number two just because of the weight of Power of the Dog. But it's that whole Andrew's just been everywhere and he is so likable.
Yeah.
Like so likable. And he kind of has the same kind of thing as Jessica Chastain, where you think he's overdue. I don't really think he is. He's very young and that's weird. But it's that whole he missed for The Social Network and we still talk about it.
Yeah.
And I also think because of the whole, he got in for Hacksaw when we all wanted him in for Silence. I don't know. He's just so well liked. I would say he's number 2. But like, if you told me the day after the Oscar voting, like the Oscars were over, we somehow got a list of like the order of the finishing. If Benedict was number 2, I wouldn't be like shocked. But I just think the likability of Andrew Garfield is what makes him number 2. But I do think there is a giant difference between 1 and 2. Like, I don't think it's close.
Yeah, I definitely, I don't disagree with you though at all there. And like I said, in my opinion, Denzel Washington should be running away with this award. Denzel gave, in my opinion, the best lead performance of last year. It's an incredible performance. If you have not watched A Tragedy in Macbeth, please watch it. It's on Apple. If you're one of the 3 people that have Apple TV Plus. Transitioning to supporting actress, another category that the wrong person's going to win. I mean, it's just a fact for me. I'm sorry, guys. It's just, I just really feel strongly about one of the people. But Ariana DeBose has basically won everything there is to win. We're all 3 predicting her to win. The competition is interesting, to say the least. I think Ingenue is probably second. If you told me Kirsten was second, I wouldn't be really surprised there. I do think Ellis is probably second there. I wish Ellis would win personally. I champion that because I think everything that everybody thought could Belf brought to Belfast, I think Ellis brings to King Richard with her like she was the perfect counterpart to Will Smith, because Will Smith's great in it, but if like Ingenue's cast or somebody else is cast in that role and it's not as good, I don't think Will's as good. So like, they play well off each other, and she has several scenes in that movie that just, like the one where she yells at him about leaving her kids at the grocery. Oh my God. Like she just,
I wonder, I hope we get clips.
Me too. Cause there is just, Ingenue Ellis is a fucking, like, she should be winning.
You know, it's so funny. I feel like if you win off clips only, I feel like she would win.
Yes.
But there's so many layers to like Ariana's win. And like, I don't like West Side Story, but I will be so excited for her to win.
Yep.
And she'll make so many rounds of history with her win.
Yes.
She will be, if and when she wins, her and Rita will be the first women to have won for playing the same role. And they'll actually be the first in any category to win in the same category. Like both Jokers and then Corleone were different categories.
Categories,
like supporting. Like this would be 2 of the same character in the same category, which is pretty cool. But maybe let's give like women of color the chance to win and lead.
That's also very true. Yeah, I saw somebody tweet out that they were like, Halle Berry was talking about how, she won 20 years ago today.
And in her speech, she said something. I haven't seen her speech in so long, but she says something about like the doors. Yeah, the door and I'm open. Like,
here we are 20 years later, and it hasn't.
What is going on? I think that's what I saw the tweet about. Like the Academy hasn't changed fast enough with the new members. I'm pretty sure that was what it was about, because it's insane.
It is pretty insane. Like I said, it's a category that we don't really need to touch too much on, because I don't think anybody else really stands a chance. But if I heard Ingenue Ellis's name, I would fucking jump out of my seat of pure joy. Because honestly, like I really feel like King Richard is a movie that really could go home with a lot more than people are going to give it credit for. Because like right now, I think a lot of people have it walking away with just Will Smith, right? So that's definitely. So real quick, like if you think about that, right? So best actor would go to Will Smith. Let's just say, so King Richard could potentially be the only win for that, right? DeBose is probably the only win for West Side Story, right?
That's what I have. I wouldn't be shocked if it won something else.
And then
but the
lead actress, I mean, Spencer.
There's a 9. Yeah. Well, like lead actress, I'm other than Jessica Chastain, I'm pretty.
Everything else is going. Yeah.
Olivia Colman. Don't get me.
Oh.
But there's like actually a potential for all of the acting categories to be their only win.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's crazy to me. I didn't think about that until just now.
That's weird.
It's very weird because it's very like King Richard. If you're predicting, like, if you're not predicting it for editing, which is the only thing it's really kind of being teeter-tottered with, and maybe song, obviously, but like it's a potential for having all 4 winners and to win only that category, which is kind of crazy to me. Transitioning from actor or supporting actress to sound. Hang on, let me get the sheet here. Oh yeah, this is another category. I think we all picked Dune here. This is.
Yeah, I think it's Dune, hands down. Like, this is the only other one I could see West Side Story possibly upsetting, but I really don't. Like, I really think it's Dune.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to me. I don't know, because like I said, I've been on record and I've said that I didn't love Dune, but it's a technical masterpiece in my opinion. There's nothing like that. That's like in a theater experience that I'll never forget, even though I didn't really love the movie. Like, it still just blows you away visually and sound. So it's kind of crazy. Like I said, Queen Sleep for us. Live action short. I don't know. I didn't even realize I didn't pick anything for this.
Okay, so the consensus is that it's The Long Goodbye because Riz Ahmed would win an Oscar.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I changed to Please Hold on Monday and I have stayed there. But lately, I'm like, what if it's El Cachu, the Take and Run? And I know a few people predicting The Dress. So that is 4 of the 5 that I know people predicting. I think for now, I'm going to stay on Please Hold. I've been on Please Hold since Monday. But today was the only day I've considered changing, and I was going to go to El Cachu, the Take and Run. The only one I don't know anyone predicting is On My Mind.
Perfect.
But
El Cachu, Take and Run it is for me, baby. Let's go.
It's so funny. And then Jacob went The Long Goodbye. I mean, I will freak out if Riz Ahmed becomes an Oscar winner, and that'd be great. I just like,
for sure.
The shorts are the shorts. I don't know. I don't trust the front runner in like any of the shorts categories. I don't know.
Yeah. So Scott Cole made a comment. He said, I like that they include the scene of Ellis training Serena on the court because she was a big part of teaching them tennis also. Like, that was a great scene. It was a phenomenal scene.
Such a good scene.
Yeah. God, I love her in that movie.
See, I hope they show clips.
All right.
I haven't seen so many of these in so long.
We are moving on to score. Yeah, which Hans, is another clean sweep for Hans and Dune.
What the last time he won the 90s? 94? I
think so, yeah.
I just love that he like sells out stadiums like across the world, and they're like not big enough to present it on air live.
It's crazy because this only fits for 3 of these 5 films, but the 18 of the last 21 winners for original score also had Best Picture nominations as well.
So what you're saying is not Parallel Mothers.
I'm saying Don't Look Up's gonna win.
Actually, that's my favorite part of Don't Look Up. It's the only good thing in Don't Look Up.
He is the master of scores, man. God, I watched If Beale Street Can Talk Again. And
beautiful score, beautiful movie.
So good.
10 out of 10.
Masterpiece. You know, I wrote about how I'm doing an article, top 15 movies last 15 years, and that's on my top 15. And like, I wrote about the first time I ever watched it. I didn't love it, but it was because I felt a personal connection to a lot of some of the parts of the story that really took me out of the movie. And then like when I rewatched it, I was like, God, this is just Barry Jenkins just is brilliant. So now we move over to song, and this is where I made my move, where I think that Lin-Manuel Miranda there, LMM there, gets his EGOT.
That would be really cool. but me and Jacob are still on Billie Eilish and her brother.
And I don't hate it. I needed to
just
justify my
that,
animated feature film win for Mitchells and Machines.
I keep texting you guys, like, how funny would it be if it's Van Morrison? Like, like there's no chance, but it would just be so funny.
I just hear Beyonce's name. I mean,
if Beyonce had campaigned, I'm pretty sure she'd be winning.
Yeah.
But she did not.
Will can't do it all, Beyonce, okay?
But I think even if Will wasn't winning, if she had campaigned, she would be winning because she's Beyonce. But because she has done literally 0 events, didn't even go to the Met, like, there's no shot. I think No Time to Die won because her documentary was shortlisted, which was shocking to me. And then 2, that Sam Smith song is so bad and it won. And this song is nowhere near that bad. It's just old. That's why people don't like it anymore. Like, everybody loved it when it came out. It's just like we've been listening to it for 2 years.
It's funny. She would have been the youngest girl or youngest person to ever win an Oscar for that category or whatever. But then because the movie got pushed, she's now going to be the second youngest instead, which is kind of funny. It is very funny. But I don't know. Like I said, I made my switch. I made my...
So Encanto winning would be like, of course it won. Like, that makes sense. That's actually what I had until I realized, like, how bad that Sam Smith song is. And I was like, if they gave it to them, like, they're gonna give it to Billie Eilish.
And this is probably going to be like its last hurrah for Daniel Craig, which is crazy to me because No Time to Die is way better than anybody has, like, even given it credit for. It's a phenomenal film. It's because it's so
long. People don't like long movies.
Yeah.
Which is dumb, but whatever. But yeah, I think, like, that's right too. Like, they're gonna be like, let's give it something. We'll miss Daniel Craig. But I don't know. I won't be shocked if Dos Sorguitos wins. I can't predict it. It's just gonna be so funny if somehow it's Van Morrison. Like, not even going.
All right, so the switch to original screenplay. This one has, this is another one, and I've said this already once before. This one has weighed heavy on me because I almost went this way instead of that way, because my best picture pick was going to be a crazy one that I felt like has been number 2 for quite a while, and I think that it's the movie that I think Coda everybody thinks Coda is, but I don't think I'm going to go there. I don't think so. But
okay, so Jacob and I did a space on the 25th, and I made my prediction for this category then, which is worst person in the world.
I remember that, yeah.
And everyone yelled at me.
It. And now I've seen a lot of people on that bandwagon. I have. I do think that it's funny that somebody can bring up about, how are foreign movies nominated for screenplay. But with that being said, I like it. I think it's bold. I think there's certain categories that you could really go bold in because I think there's an avenue where I see maybe all 5 of these movies potentially winning. Like, it's possible. Like,
that's really what's so funny. I totally agree because one worst person in the world could win. Like, it's just because Licorice Pizza is like the cool guy, like the cool person always wins original screenplay. Like, that's the designated, like, Jordan Peele wins, Sofia Coppola wins. Like, it's like the designated, like whatever. So there's that. And then it obviously, like, has support since it got in this category. King Richard could win because Will Smith. It could, like, it's in contention with editing. Like,
it's a good screenplay.
And it's a good screenplay. Don't Look Up has WGA. Like, it has support. It could win. Licorice Pizza win the BAFTA. It's Paul Thomas Anderson. But it losing WGA is just like, he couldn't win there without Belfast being eligible.
Yeah.
And that is why everyone's going to Belfast, including Jacob, who loves Licorice Pizza. And that's where at first I was like, should I switch to Belfast instead of Worst Person in the World? But I was like, no, I have hung on to Worst Person in the World literally a month. Tomorrow is a month since I made that prediction. And I'm just going to stay with it. Sure, it's probably going to be Belfast, but I'm just going to stay on Worst Person in the World.
I think for every reason you talked about the flashiness of this category is why I ended up on Don't Look Up. I just
Adam McKay having 2 Oscars will ruin my life. I will stop watching. I will stop watching Succession.
No, you won't. No, you won't. No, you won't. You're so full of shit.
Adam McKay.
So, I feel strongly like everybody's like Kenneth Branagh's going to win because this is his only opportunity to win this year for this Oscar. Blah blah blah. I understand that, et cetera, et cetera. I'm all whatever, right?
I like that people say that like he's dying. They're like it's his last opportunity. Like he's not old. Like sorry, Nicole Ackman. Like no, actually, I'm not sorry because I'm in defense of this. Like he's gonna be back. Like. This is just like, you know, the way people talked about Dunkirk with Christopher Nolan. Like, it was like so personal to him. Like, but like, he was never coming back to that. I was like, shut up. Yeah, but that's the other thing, though. Like, Dunkirk picked up awards elsewhere. Like, where else is Belfast going to win? Song?
Yeah. Belfast peaked way too early. It peaked way
It was
too
the
early.
A Star is Born of this year.
100%.
Like,
100%. I came really close.
Runner,
so this is the thing. I almost went King Richard. Like that's where my heart wants to go. And it did because it would not surprise me. And we're going to talk about it last. It would not surprise me to hear King Richard win Best Picture. It wouldn't. Like it's that type of film.
Because it's in so many places.
Yes.
And like
it's in all the right places.
Yeah. And like where it wasn't nominated at BAFTA, it was shortlisted. And I'm like, it just shows a lot of like widespread support, which is why I can see it. I just don't want Adam McKay to have another Oscar.
We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to makeup. I made Kenzie mad. We're gonna move over to makeup and hairstyling. And I don't know why I'm not on here. Hang on, sorry. Yeah, that's where I'm going to. Coming to America. I'm on that boat. I love that movie. It might not be a great movie, but shout out to Craig Brewer, the director. I love you, man. But makeup, hairstyle, it should win hands down. Like, watch the movie and explain why it should win makeup and hairstyle. Like, hello.
The thing is, like, I know what's working against it is people seeing the movie, but so it won at the Hairstyling Makeup Guild. It won like 2 or 3 things. Mm-hmm.
But it lost so yeah.
No, but so the big thing is Cruella and Coming to America are the only things that won. Mm-hmm. Tammy Faye was there and did not win. And since the Guild started in 2013, something that won at the Guild won the Oscar.
Right. So the makeup and hairstyling Guild Award.
So it's either Cruella or Coming to America, or that stat is broken.
Yeah, because the Guild for Best Period and or Character Makeup in a feature-length motion picture has gone to win the Oscars 7 of the last 8 years. Bombshell won the Oscar after Joker won Makeup Hairstyling Award. So Cruella won that category this year. It's won 7 of the last 8 years, which means technically.
Well, I just mean in general.
Yeah.
Like somebody who's won something there.
Exactly.
Since it started has won.
It wouldn't surprise me if Cruella won this category, wouldn't?
Especially because it's winning costume design. So people are going to be like, check, check. Like,
yeah, exactly. We've seen some of the way these people on these super secret ballots talk. So
yeah, like some of them didn't even put anything. Like, yeah. But it won't shock me if it's Tammy Faye. But like, what were the cheeks? What were the cheeks? Their cheeks didn't look like that. I don't get it. It would really annoy me if it won. But I just want to say, other than Coming to America, Dune should be sweeping the shit out of this award.
I agree.
The makeup is so good.
Incredible.
Dumb.
It's incredible. All right, documentary short. I do love Jacob's reasoning for going to Queen of Basketball, which again, I think it could win. But the funny thing about it is I got 1.3 million emails about this short, about where they were showing it. They had Steph Curry showing up. Shaquille O'Neal was championing it because he came on as a producer or whatever. Like they were showing it every day, everywhere in LA, as long as they could, whenever they could. And they had whoever they could get there to be there, which makes a lot of sense of why the Queen of Basketball is probably maybe 1A and then Audible is 1A with it. But
yeah, the thing is, it's the same thing with like the Riz Ahmed live action short. Like sometimes they really go for like a celebrity campaigning and or being involved.
Yep.
I was on Queen of Basketball, but I just feel like I have been seeing ads for Audible every fucking where I go in LA, like everywhere I go. And I'm moving from one area to another area in Los Angeles. And I've been driving like different routes than I normally do. And Audible is every park bench, every place you can put an ad, I've seen an Audible ad. And I know Queen of Basketball has this celebrity athlete backing. I won't be shocked if it's Queen of Basketball. It makes the most sense. But also, it's that same thing we were talking about. When I see something number one in the shorts, I'm like, it's either winning or it's absolutely dead last.
Or has no chance in hell at winning. Yeah.
But somebody told me when we were bullies, and I was like, interesting, because no one else had ever mentioned that to me. But when I saw all of the shorts in theaters. Like I did the thing where you see all 5. The only one I remember watching are Queen of Basketball, Audible, and Lead Me Home. I feel like Lead Me Home really like messed me up, and I don't remember the other ones. Queen of Basketball is really interesting. I don't know. I really think it's Audible. If it's Queen of Basketball, I'll be like, sure. If it's When We Were Bullies, my friend is totally right and deserves $1 million, because I haven't seen that anywhere.
Adapted screenplay.
Ooh. Are you going first? Let's preface this. Jacob has Coda before we forget.
Yes, he does.
Shocking.
Do
you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
No, I want you to go first because you'll probably talk me out of my pick, and I might change my pick in the middle of you talking. So yesterday, I was like, Drive My Car is fucking winning adapted screenplay. But then I was like, the Academy isn't cool enough to give 2 movies not in English screenplay wins. Like they're not there yet. I'm going The Lost Daughter. The second they put Jake Gyllenhaal as an announcer or a presenter, I was like, interesting. What do you know that I don't know? So I'm going The Lost Daughter, not because of Jake Gyllenhaal. I'm just saying it's a hilarious thing. But I was thinking about I was devastated when Greta Gerwig lost adapted screenplay for Little Women. But I was excited that Taika Waititi won, even though I didn't like Jojo Rabbit. But all I heard about Jojo Rabbit was that it was so hard to adapt. I heard so much about his journey to getting the rights to it to adapt. And you know what I've heard all year long? How hard it was to adapt The Lost Daughter. All the work that Maggie Gyllenhaal did to get the rights to adapt this book into a screenplay. And I don't know, like, let's say they go Belfast for original screenplay. They're missing that token cool win in screenplay. And just because it's usually original screenplay doesn't mean it can't be adapted, because Taika Waititi having an Oscar is so cool. And that was adapted. And it was a very similar trajectory. Like it picked up, how many nominations did Jojo Rabbit? I mean, it had Best Picture. I think I had like,
but I mean, like
6.
It's kind of the same kind of thing, like divisive movie that not everyone liked. It had a surprise supporting nomination, supporting actress also.
Yep.
It's giving me those vibes. So I decided today I'm going The Lost Daughter. I gave up on Drive My Car, guys. But if Drive My Car wins, I claim that victory. But I am going The Lost Daughter officially.
Yeah, it's six nominations for JoJo.
I mean, so that's a lot,
including
more.
That massively surprised for supporting though. That was a huge surprise.
But it's the same thing. Like Jessie Buckley was the first nomination read, and everybody screamed. Like every reaction I watched, everybody was like, "What?"
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's giving me the same kind of vibes. So I'm just gonna go for it.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. I really like it. This one was hard for me too. I don't really know. I love the notion of Dune winning here just because of what you've talked to me about. Again, I'm not a Dune person, but the only thing that you ever really hear about this movie is it's one of the hardest books to adapt into a movie. And
even before it came out, before we saw the movie, they were like, this is hard.
Yeah, this is impossible for anybody to do. And like so many people love Dune, and for people to love it and to understand the hard process that goes behind it, it kind of blows my mind. Obviously, you have the darling here that everybody wants to ride the high here of Coda. And so I did the opposite of what you did here, because you went Lost Daughter because, actually you're going Lost Daughter and Worst Person in the World. So that's kind of like a neutral.
That doesn't make any sense. That's not going to happen. I should switch to Belfast, but I'm just going to do it. I don't care.
Exactly. It's funny to me because the way you talked about it made it put in my head. I was like, wait a minute, did she pick Belfast? No, because I thought she went crazy over here. Maybe she'll go safe over here. I don't know. I am starting. I haven't
said it out loud all day. So like you saying that just now just made me realize like two dumb choices that is. Wow.
Dune would be really cool here just because of that. But I'm starting to think that this entire season's being overlooked, exactly what we're doing right now, and overshadowing. I really feel like The Power of the Dog's going to win this. I really do. I really feel like The Power of the Dog's winning here. And they'll kind of go into detail with the rest of my picks for the rest of the show here too.
Are you in the camp of like, you know how people are like, they're very spread the wealth? I'm like, I don't think they look at their ballot like, I'm going to put this here and this here. I mean, maybe some people do, but I don't think like the large consensus of voters do, especially given like how many of the voters are like the older, been in the academy for years kind of person. I just don't buy into every single person doing it. I think like a lot of people do. I just don't.
And we're coming into back-to-back years where like picture and director like went to the same movie. Like this could be year 3 in a row. Like it's possible that we're going to see that happen again. So it's like there's not really handing out like, participation trophies to films that aren't going to get the big awards. I don't. Yeah. I'm with you there 100%. But I'm going Power of the Dog here. I just feel like we might be overlooking, or not we, I think everybody might be overlooking a lot of what's going on. And I think there's a certain film that's going to go home empty-handed that I think everybody is ranting and raving about right now. So production design is next.
Well, you know how I feel here. Listen, there is no movie that has better production design in this category, like at least nominated, than Nightmare Alley. It's like its own character. I don't understand like the overlooking of it. Like I understand a lot of people don't love the movie, but to say the production design isn't just stunning and immersive is such a lie, to be honest with you. Like
it's such a great film.
It like you feel like you're in it with them, and like I feel like the two halves are very distinct with like their production design. Like I don't know, I never felt like it was a set. It always felt real to me, and I know they did make like real things outside and shot on real locations, but like I don't know, I never felt like it was fake or like not immersive enough. And I don't know, I think it's really important with movies set in a specific period of time, and especially like a movie where you go from like the carnivals where it's lower economic status to like he was in a hotel that was very uppity and fancy, and then he was going to, I don't remember Richard Jenkins' character's name, his house, which was like an enormous property. Like you always felt the wealth or the lack of wealth wherever like the story was. And I also think it'd be really cool if Guillermo del Toro had this stat to his name where all his movies always pick this up.
Yeah,
It'd be really cool.
It would be 3 for 3 for him with Pan's Labyrinth and Shape of Water.
Yeah, I would love that stat. But I see you killing me. Jacob is with me on Nightmare Alley.
I'm going Dune here. I just think it makes too much sense. But Nightmare Alley, I feel like it's a strong 1 or 2. I think the tragedy in Macbeth here is being way overlooked on a personal side of things. I highly recommend if you watch the movie, but there's some behind the scenes stuff that you don't see. And like you kind of get a better idea of the set and stuff like that.
Like the way they built the sets,
yes,
and like it's just everything that goes into it.
That movie just...
I'm very team making like a bake-off for production design and costume design. I don't know how it would work, but it would be really cool.
I am 1000% in support of that. Yeah. All right, so we are down to 3 categories, 2 of which are really tight races. I mean, obviously Best Picture is too, but we know Best Picture's last. But film editing is another one on the table. Jacob went off the rails and went tick, tick, boom. This is another one. So I saw that there was a surge, tick, tick, booms going to win editing. And of course, we're going stats here for sure. Stats wise, it would be the first film to walk away with just film editing at the Oscars. The first film, the only film last, I think 20 years. And the movie that did it was The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. It won editing and that was it.
If you could put a re-recorded song, an original song, it would have won that too. With the immigrant song?
Yes. 100%. I love that movie. So
that's in my top 3 Fincher. Like one of the best movies ever made.
Let
them finish the trilogy. God. Okay.
This is another category that I
think
almost went
any
King
of
Richard.
the 5 could win.
I almost went King Richard here. And the reason I went almost, but I didn't. I bailed on King Richard. And I'm going to feel so bad if King Richard starts winning things on Sunday. And I'm going to be like, I said these things. I don't know why I went away from my gut. Because I really feel like King Richard's in play for Best Picture still.
King Richard could either shock everyone and win like 5 Oscars.
Exactly.
Or it could just win actor.
Yeah, and that's it. Like,
there's no in between. It's either winning like 5 or it's just Will.
Yes. And that's the thing. If we get some momentum early in the show, because I feel like, okay, let's just say it surprises in screenplay and editing. And then the
thing is we'll know about editing.
Well, yeah, before the show even starts. Yeah, you're right. So, well, if it surprises during the pre-show.
If Vanessa Hudgens tells us live on the red carpet.
During the commercials, we're going to announce the winners of who won the categories on the show on Sunday during our live show. But you're right. I think all 5 could win here easily. But I'm with you, Dune. I just feel like Dune's going to probably walk away.
Okay, I switched to Dune today because yesterday I texted you guys. I was on Power of the Dog.
Yeah.
But then I could not sleep last night. And I don't know if anyone follows me on Twitter, but I've been really into Titanic stuff lately. And I was getting scared. So I started looking at Oscar stats. And okay, the last Best Picture winner to win editing was The Hurt Locker, which was clearly a long time ago.
That's a hell of a stat.
The last movie to win without a sound nomination was The Departed, but that was when the sound categories was still split. So I have a hard time going off sound stats because we went from having 10 slots to 5.
Yeah.
So I have a hard time with that. But if you go off of that, the only movies that have sound are Power of the Dog and Dune, but then Power of the Dog has the last Best Picture winner is The Hurt Locker. But that would be really interesting because I kind of have The Hurt Locker almost on the same path as Power of the Dog. I don't know. There's just too much going on.
Movie. Whew.
I love every movie she has done, including Detroit.
Hashtag
I just
same.
Love it. I won't be shocked if they go the most editing and go Don't Look Up. Like they did Bohemian Rhapsody. I won't be shocked if they go King Richard because of those tennis scenes and it's a sports movie and then it matches with the editing and actor stat of Raging Bull, which was also a sports movie.
Yep.
It could go any way. Yesterday it was really like Power of the Dog is winning. You guys are dumb if you're not picking Power of the Dog. But I'm on Dune. I think it's doing it. I just feel like Dune is gonna pick up so many, like it's like Mad Max. Like it's just gonna, I don't even know how many I have Dune winning, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know.
I don't either, but I think I'm proud. I'm high. I know that's right.
I'm pretty sure I'm at like 5. And Mad Max was 6.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Right now I'm on Dune. Like come Sunday morning, if I'm like, oh my God, King Richard, I won't be shocked. But for all purposes, I'm going Dune.
I think King Richard wins. If King Richard wins that, it's winning more awards than we're giving it right now. I feel
that's the thing. Like if Vanessa Hudgens is like, guys, breaking news. King Richard has won Best Editing.
Like the one thing that's going to be crazy about the pre-show that has it going for it, if it goes crazy, the telecast is going to be fucking wild, right? You know what I mean? Like
because if we find out things are going a different path before it even starts,
right? It's
like, can you imagine if like 4:05 they're like Dune won Best Makeup?
Yeah, exactly. And it just
that puts actress in like what the fuck is happening? Like it puts so many categories and like what is happening. But then it's like if it's boring, it kind of like ruins the telecast because you're like
if everything like before the telecast is as predicted, then you're going into the show, it's like well, it's gonna go exactly.
If like 2 of them are like completely bonkers. I hope.
Yeah, if film editing goes crazy, if film editing goes King Richard, my entire next 3 hours are going to be King Richard's winning Best Picture. Like that's what I'm gonna. Just my head's gonna go to King Richard's winning everything. But it's gonna be wild. Or it's gonna be the Raging Bull.
Yeah.
Or the other.
I don't know. It's gonna be either really exciting or really boring. Can't wait.
Yeah. So, supporting actor. An interesting race. We've seen, obviously Kenzie was very happy to hear Jesse Plemons' name the morning of nominations.
December, I was like, he's getting a nomination. Me and Zach Loss, we were like, Jesse Plemons is happening. And we did it. Lance is in. Lance is an Academy Award nominee. Like, if you had told me when watching Friday Night Lights that he would be the first Oscar nominee to come out of that show.
I would have laughed my ass off.
Like, he was my favorite character probably other than Riggins. But like, I would have just been like, what? Like,
he had one of my favorite arcs of that show outside of the whole weird season. Outside of,
But even his dad, I can't think of the actor's name, but I would have believed him getting an Oscar nomination first.
Anybody.
Like, poor Kyle Chandler, man.
I know. But he's got his Emmy, so.
Yeah, and he's been in a lot of Best Picture nominees as well.
Speaking of which, Best Picture nominee, Cate Blanchett now leads all women with 9 films she was nominated for have been nominated, including 2 this year.
This is like one of my favorite stats, but then I'm also like, I feel like we're on this weird trajectory where like it's just gonna happen like crazy now that there's required 10. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a lot more likely now than it used to be.
Absolutely. Yeah, because she's got like, 2 films this year alone.
Yeah, there's 2 actors with 2 films this year, like her and Timmy. And I'm like, So it's just like, I feel like we're going to see it happen.
Little Women got Best Picture, right?
Yeah.
Did Call Me by Your Call Me by Your Name? Did it get Best
Call
Picture?
Me by Your Name was a different year, but Call Me by Your Name and Lady Bird, yeah, they both got nominated.
So he's got what, 5 now?
Yeah.
So he's already got 5.
Yeah, see what I mean? Like, it's so much more.
And he hasn't even been nominated as an actor yet. So
yeah, he has.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, my bad. Yeah.
One of my favorite years ever.
I forget about him. I'm not a Timothée Chalamet guy yet. So
run.
Sorry.
Run. Don't.
Sorry, everybody.
Run.
Sorry. Sorry. If I thought film Twitter hated me yesterday, woof. All right. So supporting actor. Supporting actor.
Speaking of film Twitter hating.
All right. So I am prepared for Cody Smith McPhee to win the Oscar. And I've gone back and forth on this one. And I've really, really settled on Cody. And I think it's just because it reminds me of Sylvester Stallone and Creed.
Where he is the Mark Rylance?
Yes. And it's just like everybody wanted Stallone's speech. He was winning a lot of things. And he just came in and Smith McPhee was like, he's also been around. And I know we have the young part of him. It's always young, and they don't give Oscars to young people or whatever. But I am just here to say, I'm sorry, Coda fans, you're going home empty-handed. And
I would be with you, but Mark Rylance won the BAFTA.
He did win, but that's not really surprising, though. Like, it doesn't really surprise me, though.
Well, I guess because
Rocky is an iconic American figure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
And Mark Rylance is British, right?
Right. So I'm telling you, I just feel like it's not similar.
You know what? You know what would tip it over for me? That like maybe I could. No, not even, because the Rising Stars fan voted. I was on that train until he won BAFTA. Until Troy won BAFTA, I was like telling Jacob every day. I was like, Cody's still winning. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
But then as soon as Troy won BAFTA, that was my I'm switching. Like, and I just want to say, like, Coda's in my bottom 3 of the Best Picture nominees. But I love Troy's performance. It's the only thing I really liked about this movie. And I think it is so deserving. And like, I can't wait for his speech. Like you're saying, like, I think he'll give easily the best speech of the night. Like, he's just so likable. And Barry Jenkins, I know you're not listening, but please, I've been saying this before they announced a new season of True Detective. I've been saying he would kill it as some gritty detective. Please make it happen. But if Cody won any industry thing, because I kind of thought Cody would at least win Critics' Choice. Even though Critics' Choice the last 3 or 4 years has completely swapped to just predicting the Oscars and not doing anything of their own. Not saying anything against the members of Critics' Choice. It's just very boring. Like, let's just do something exciting. It doesn't have to predict the Oscars. I say that while we're predicting the Oscars. But I would love, and I texted you guys yesterday, like, what would we do because one of the supporting actor or actress is always first.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? It's supporting actor, and then Jesse Plemons wins.
I'm telling you,
if Jesse Plemons wins, I think everyone should Venmo me $1.
Everybody.
Everyone in the world.
Every single person.
I think it's
I hear what
Troy's.
everybody's saying.
I like that you're doing it.
I'm telling you, I don't know. I was almost Troy. I just don't know what it is about this category. I'm really strongly feeling Cody's going to win here. I really feel like Coda's going to go empty-handed here. And there's going to be a lot of backlash behind that. Let's not forget, Power of the Dog is still a very well made movie. If I was picking here, I would pick Jesse Plemons over Cody Smith-McPhee. I like Plemons a little bit better in Power of the Dog than I really.
You know what's so funny is I'm like sitting here yelling at you like Jesse Plemons, Jesse Plemons. If I were voting, I would vote Cody.
Like, and that's the thing. Like, I really feel like this is easily the weakest category of the night when it comes to nominations, because I can fit five better, in my opinion. I can fit five better performances.
Vincent Linden and Titan is just
Coleman Domingo, Zola,
Coleman Domingo,
Jason Isaacs from Mass. Like, there's just a laundry list of people that I feel like I can insert here, and that's where I get a little frustrated with this category. But I just don't think. I think Coda's going to walk away empty-handed. I feel like they're the type of movie. I'm on record. I don't love Coda. I think it's a very good Lifetime movie, and it's great for what it is. It's an inspirational story, but I feel like the buck stops here, right? You know what I mean? It should be happy to be here. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I feel like with this movie, and I think there's a lot going on with it. And again, when Kotsar does win, because I'm going to be wrong probably, it's going to be amazing. It's probably going to be one of the most iconic speeches in Oscar history.
I was thinking that, because I watch Olivia Colman's speech.
Yeah.
Every day.
I do think Will Smith can rival it, because I do feel Will Smith's going to give a phenomenal speech. But
Will Smith has been in like our like span, like for like my whole life. I've known who Will Smith is. I was unaware of Troy Kotsur before this season, and like now I'm like I yell at you guys literally every other day that he needs to be in a detective thing. We were yelling about him being in the Batman sequel.
Yeah,
like exactly. I don't like this movie. I love his performance. I will love his win. Like, it won't be in top wins of all time for me.
No, but it's still going to be a great. It would be a great win. Like, it would.
It's a deserving win. He's one of the three performances I like in this category.
Yeah.
And
in the category, it's easily a great performance. You know what I mean? Because it is. There's several scenes where it just rips your heart out. He's not my favorite part of the film. I can't think of. I always forget his name. I love the school teacher in this. I think he's my favorite part of this entire movie. Oh my god, what is his name?
That's the part of the movie I'm like, this is not for me.
I love him. I just think he's hilarious. I just feel like he's just funny as shit.
I did like his reaction video to like Coda's Oscar nominations, but that's the weakest part of the movie for me.
I don't know. I just liked him. He made me laugh. I think that was the only reason why I liked him.
The ending when he says go, oh my god.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah. They need Oscar clips. I need them.
Yes. As long as they don't show the truck scene, because then I will be in tears.
But
yeah, I don't know. I'm going Cody. I'm wrong. I'm probably 99% likely to be wrong, but
I dig it.
Last vote here. Best picture. I'm 1000% on Power of the Dog.
I've never gotten off Power of the Dog.
Or don't look. I mean, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Stop it.
I don't see a world in which Power of the Dog is like last on people's ballots. Sure, it could be like fourth, but I don't think it's towards the bottom.
I saw somebody say this, like Nightmare Alley was a surprise being in the 10. Like it was. I
love it. And I was shocked.
Right. You know what I mean? So you're the one that put me onto it being in my 10. And I actually ended up getting it right because I actually went off of what you said and put it in my 10 just based off of the last few days.
I thought it was going to get more texts.
Yes. And which is not getting as many texts as it did and still landing in Best Picture.
That is what's so weird.
What somebody said is if somebody had Nightmare Alley on their ballot, that means Power of the Dog is definitely in the top 4 of their films. Like they're those slow burn style type of films that are very much coincide technically as well. They're both
and Drive My Car.
Right, exactly. Drive My Car as well. So like if you look at that, right? If you look at how well made some of these movies are, it really, like even Dune, Power of the Dog, Nightmare Alley, Drive My Car, these films are technically well made, right? Mm-hmm. I understand we want if we're going to go with technically well made and the heartfelt story, King Richard should win. Period. Like that's the movie that should win. Like nothing against Coda, as we mentioned 10 minutes ago. It's a great story, blah, blah. But if you're talking about Best Picture means all the way around. It encompasses everything. And to me,
like
like,
that's the thing when like someone, and like we've both said it numerous times, is like it needs wide support from the branches. And
yeah,
part of the reason it needs that is not just votes, but like for like if you're a voter and looking at it, like if you see Drive My Car is in screenplay, director, like that entices you a little more to vote for it or put it a little higher
yeah,
up. And like same thing with like The Lost Daughter could benefit had had a Best Picture nomination and have been like,
mhm.
oh, it's here, it's here, it's here. I'm gonna vote for Olivia. Like it's the same thing with like Licorice Pizza. Had it had one acting nomination, I don't think any of us would be questioning it winning original screenplay.
No, not even
Like
close. Yeah, for sure.
it's like when it doesn't have wide support, that's when I'm like, it I don't see people like name checking it because like they literally can't. But that's the thing is like there is a world in which Coda goes 3 for 3. Like I'm not saying it's not possible, I just don't see it happening personally. But like there is a world in which it happens, and like everyone who is saying Coda's winning Best Picture has made painfully obvious is like the Academy is very different than it has been the last few years. But like Parasite and Nomadland winning, it had industry support. It had various branches nominating it. Like it is just very different than the way
So
I see Coda. And like I understand Coda was never going to get a costume design. It was never going to get production design. It was never going to
mm,
get like certain things. It was never going to get, but like, why didn't it get song? Why
right.
didn't Marley Matlin get in?
Why didn't he get film editing? Because I mean, it's just there's so
Like
many different things
she
that,
got it, Amelia Jones got in at BAFTA, but like didn't transition here.
yeah.
Like
That
it's
that's
just
the thing that just kind of blows my mind. There's not enough for me, in my opinion, for it to be like, again, even if we get the Co-Star win, like that's amazing. I feel like that's great. That's if Co-Star wins, that's its win, right? You know what I mean? That's that film's like
it's like that year where the
moment.
favorite one actress only, because we were all like, holy shit, the favorite's gonna go home empty-handed before Olivia
Right.
Colman shocked us all and won. And that was like one of those years where every single nominee won something. And like I would like that to happen this year. I don't think it's possible.
So I
But
was looking at that. There's one fun stat I have here. Those I found interesting. Belfast and The Power of the Dog received screenplay nominations from the Golden Globes, while Coda didn't. Interesting stat: 45 of the last 51 years, the Globes and Oscar history, the eventual Best Picture received a Globe nomination for screenplay. That's a lot. First off,
yeah,
that's a lot.
I understand people saying Coda like didn't have hype or whatever until it was nominated at the Oscars, which I understand. But like I people saw it enough to give it these 3 nominations,
Yeah, and
but
then like the
not
last
other
Best Picture winner
nominations.
without the Globe screenplay nom was Million Dollar Baby in 2004.
A Clint Eastwood movie with
And of
Hilary
course,
Swank and Morgan
exactly.
Freeman.
This is another fun stat that I found as well. Like if Power of the Dog does win, it would be the 5th to do so without a SAG ensemble nomination. But what's crazy is the last 4 films that do it, 3 of them happened in the last 4 years, which was The Shape of Water, Green Book, and Nomadland.
See,
Like 4 times in the last 5 years that's happened. I just don't see we're in a world where Coda's Best Picture.
I think it's like you were saying with adapted screenplay. I think we're all making this super crazy and 90% positive. It could just be really boring and like the number one thing that was predicted all season is going to happen. Or I could be wrong and like Coda wins Best Picture or Screenplay. Like, I don't know. Like, it could happen. I just, I just don't think Coda's winning Best Picture.
I think it has way better chance at screenplay. I really do. I people that think that if it wins screenplay and Co-Star wins, it's winning picture, I think are crazy. I don't really feel like that correlates. I don't think it does. I really don't. I don't think it does to me. I
I
don't know.
don't think like if it happens, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, it's winning picture. But like if it does win all 3, like, yeah, of course it did. Like, but like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like shaking if it wins adapted screenplay. Like, holy shit, it's winning picture. Like,
I will be extremely disappointed if it wins Best Picture.
If it had song, I would see its path. But because it couldn't get into song, and like
it's an original, like it should have got, like, I don't.
Especially because original song is so weird. Like, and I know 4 of the 5 are kind of locks, but that 5th slot was kind of like everybody was putting that in. And the fact that it didn't get in, I don't buy into the whole nobody saw it. And that's why it got so few Oscar nominations, because I'm like, how did it get into picture?
Exactly, of all places. You can't be in picture and not, and screenplay.
Have been seen. Like,
screenplay
it was seen.
Adapted screenplay is strong this year. Like, strong. Like,
I don't buy into the it wasn't seen. Like,
yeah.
I'm sure more people have seen it post nomination. Like,
for sure,
we all know that. Like, with every single movie in Best Picture.
For sure.
But I don't know.
I've been on a hype train of, and I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. If you're talking about a movie that's well made and it has a good inspirational story, King Richard should run away with Best Picture. If that's what you want out of Best Picture. I don't know about you guys, but when you watched Parasite or Nomadland, I didn't really feel like $1 million after watching Parasite. You know what I mean? I didn't think the whole,
Surely.
You know what I mean? And Nomadland, it didn't really have a gut-wrenching love story that, you know, was just beaming of radiancy. Well, and
like, I saw a lot of people bringing up like Nomadland didn't win screenplay, and I'm like, I don't think anyone ever thought it was going to. It was like a screenplay movie, like, and like so much of it was improvised. Like, why would it win screenplay? I don't know. Before we go, how long do you think the broadcast is going to be?
Oh, it's definitely going to go at least 15, 20 minutes over.
Yeah, I was going to say 3 hours, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
They're like determined to make it 3 hours. I'm like,
it's crazy because honestly, like, if you're not awarding 8 films on the air, like, or 8 categories on the air, you got 15 categories in 3 hours. Like, I mean, what is that? I mean, shit, that's 5 per hour. Like,
so there's 5 songs.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm like, 5 awards per hour. You can't do that.
There's got to be like 3 type of monologue things, because there's 3 hosts, all like each getting their own hour. I'm assuming there's a bit per hour.
Do we want Amy Schumer? I know everybody doesn't really love Amy Schumer. Do we want her just to come out and be first to get that out of the way for everybody?
I was going to ask you. So the latest ad for the Oscars has Regina, Amy, Wanda, and I wonder if that's the order.
Just kind of sandwich her in between that second hour where maybe nothing's really.
Well, and that way, like, Wanda's like kind of like the most well-known.
Yeah.
Because she's been working longer.
For sure. Yeah. I get that.
And then that way, Regina can open the show recreating her scary movie bit at the movie theater, like the Nicole Kidman AMC ad.
I will say this: I'm not as like disappointed as I've seen to some people with talking about the presenters and the people that are involved in it. But you mentioned it. I'm disappointed that we're not seeing Britney Spears. I'm just gonna throw that out there. They really dropped the ball here.
They should have done it. They should have done it. I've been saying for years, they should do it.
Especially now, this moment. Yeah. Like, this is the moment to have her. Like,
yeah, it's weird.
She should be presenting. Sorry, Rachel Zegler.
I do think Rachel should be there. I just don't like the way it happened.
Yeah, if you knew the story, it wouldn't probably like it either. But all right. Yeah, so that's exciting. This was fun. I had a blast. I am very excited to be 1,000% wrong on Sunday.
I just can't wait for Jacob to hear what you did for supporting actor.
Hey, it is what it. I'll clip it out and post it for the whole world to see. I really don't. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, with that being said, we are going to go live on Sunday. We're going to be live throughout the entirety of the show. We'll be live right before the first hour broadcast goes live, just to chitter chatter and get prepared for all 8 of the categories that'll be nominated off the air, and then potentially, hopefully, freak out about who wins, and then go into the award show like, holy shit, who's gonna win? Like, hopefully. Oh my god, Don't Look Up is gonna sweep. Like, I mean, I'm just
at least Mark Rylance didn't get nominated. Like, at least.
Oh man, that's just funny to me. All right, folks. Thank you for listening. If you've made it this long, we'll look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday. I really don't know how to stomp this shit, so I'm gonna click that guy over here, I think. Then I'm gonna hit this guy over here.